Mississippi lawmakers seek return to Jim Crow with separate white system of justice. In 2023, according to Mississippi Today, a proposed new law will let the state's white Chief Justice of Mississippi Supreme Court and his white Attorney General and his white staff public safety commissioner appoint new judges, prosecutors, public defenders, and police officers to run a new district in the city that includes all the city majority white neighborhoods. In fact, some feelings for y'all that don't know, according to the U.S. Census data, Jackson is 83% black. Does the white majority in Jackson, Mississippi believe that the black folks in Jackson are incompetent of being able to govern them or themselves? Just so we clear, Jackson is the same state where old Brett Favre got away with stealing millions of dollars from them folks on welfare, right? Now, the same folks that want to chastise folks for being stuck in the past is study passing legislation to what? Take us to the past. In the Mississippi's capital, old racial divides take new forms. Education is elevation, and man, this is crazy, right?
Wondering about, could I put an amendment on that? It would include hanging by a tree also. And I was just wondering about, could I put an amendment on that? It would include hanging by a tree also. And also, I would like to sign on to your bill, sir. Thank you.
You know, lynching's a hate crime, right? You want to bring back lynching people? How racist are you exactly, Paul? Just like 1 to 10. 1 to 10, how racist are you? Is that really what you want? You think that's the stuff that's funny to you? You know how offensive that is, man? Do you have any idea how offensive that is? You know how offensive that is to so many people? Do you have any idea, Paul?
Okay, you seen the video, all right? And this is nothing new. We keep telling you all that the so-called white man is none other than the devil. The Bible speaks of Esau, Edom. He's just fulfilling his lot as the physical counterpart to Satan, the adversary of the Most High on earth. Okay? Genesis 27:41-42. And Esau hated Jacob, which is the 12 tribes of Israel, you Negroes, Native Americans, Hispanics, Latinos, because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, does comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. Okay, and that has been the lot of Jacob since he's been in captivity under the rulership of the Edomites. All right, that has been the lot of Jacob. All right, we'll go to Obadiah, the first chapter, which there's only one. It's one book of Obadiah. I would say that, right? And it tells you the same thing again here. Obadiah 1:10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And that's going to be the lot of Esau, Edom at the hand of the Lord in World War III. Okay, they're going to be totally cut off and destroyed. Okay, and that's why we keep ministering to the Negroes, Native Americans, and Hispanics to let them know that they need to repent, return back to the Lord. We're just coming off of our Passover, in which was celebrated yesterday evening, and hopefully you took part in that. If you didn't, that's one of the major commandments that the Lord asked us to do. Even though the laws cannot save us, we still rehearse the righteous acts of the law, okay, to the best of our ability. Okay, but as regarding Esau, Edom, again, they have no changes. All right, they are the same. All right, in 1898, You can look this up yourself. Wilmington, North Carolina. The white supremacist law leaders, the leaders of the state, rose up against the Negroes that were ruling, and they took over. Okay, they took over the state. Okay, because these were prominent men that were leaders. These Negroes that were in the legislation. They, I don't know exactly what offices they held, senators or whatever, but they were in the offices, right? Well, to make a short story of it, they were murdered and killed and ran out of the city of Wilmington, okay, after the election, and when they overthrew them, okay, and that was this white supremacist. So there's nothing new under the sun. All right, Isaiah 10:1. Isaiah 10:1. You need to look that one up. 1898 Wilmington massacre. All right. Because it wasn't like it was normal citizens, normal Negroes getting put to death and getting ran out of town. It was the prominent leaders. Okay, Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of the people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless, okay, in their judgment. And what will ye do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation which shall come from afar? To whom will ye flee to help, and where will ye leave your glory? Okay, because the Most High has judgment coming to them through thermonuclear destruction. All right, Psalms 55:2. Psalms 55:2. This King David. All right. Attend unto me and hear me. I mourn in my complaint, and make a noise because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked. For they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me. My heart is sore pain within me, and the terrors of death are fallen upon me. Fearfulness and trembling are come upon me, and horror has overwhelmed me. And no doubt the citizens of Jackson, I think that's Jackson, Mississippi, they feel this way because they know what's going to happen. They're going to have a pretty much terrorizing them with the police, okay, like in the past. All right. Verses 9. Destroy, O Lord, and divide their tongues, for I have seen violence and strife in the city. Verse 15. Let death seize upon them, and let them go down quick into hell, for wickedness is in their dwellings and among them. As for me, I will call upon my power, and Yahweh shall save me. Verse 19. The Most High shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old. Selah, because they have no changes, therefore they fear not the Most High. So you can see they have no changes. I listed a few of them. Okay. I listed the Wilmington incident that happened. All right. Way back in the ancient world, Obadiah, they were doing the same thing. They were afflicting the children of Israel then. And so many times in the past. All right. The Maccabean period. All right. And so forth. There's so many times. All right. Verses 20. He has put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He has broken his covenant. We know what they did to the Native Americans. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. All right. And we know that the wicked is none other than Esau, Edom, so-called white man, and he is the sword of the Lord on the left-hand side. Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Okay? And we know they have the whole earth under their power through the NATO, the EU, and America. All right? And it tells us at Job 9 and 24 that they rule the whole planet. Okay? Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Okay. So the earth is given into their hand. All right. All right. Sirach 12 and 10. Sirach 12 and 10 will be the Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10 in the Apocrypha. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he has overthrown thee, he standeth up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with the lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much, and change his countenance. So you need to remember that. All right. That's from our forefathers giving us that counsel on the wicked. They have no changes. All right. All right. Exodus. We go to Exodus 1 and 8. This has been done before when the Hamitic nations ruled over us, okay, in Egypt. Exodus 1 and 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies, and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. So this has been done before. Okay, so what they're planning on doing in Mississippi is setting up those taskmasters to rule, to keep Jake in line. Okay, all right. Keep you Negroes, Native Americans, Hispanics in line, all right, and protect their white citizens. So this is nothing new, all right. And they're setting up, this is not just in Mississippi, in Atlanta. They're setting up a militarized police force to train on a facility for urban terrorism. And no doubt that's what they want in Mississippi. They want a military force to come against the Negroes that are there. All right. But what you don't understand is that Jacob's trouble is headed our way. It's prophesied in the scriptures that it'd be a time of trouble like no other on earth. All right, Matthew 24 and 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Okay? So those are some heavy words, okay? And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. You got to really think about that, okay? That's how bad it's going to get. What you have to understand, what's coming upon us is the fact that the dollar is virtually no good, and all the countries are bailing on the dollar. All right, that's what was keeping America great. Okay, so what's going to happen when the hyperinflation kicks in and you can't afford to pay for stuff anymore? People are going to basically go off. All right, so that's what's coming. Daniel 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was, since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Okay, so this is what's coming. All right, I mean, Esau is the sword of the Lord, and he has perfected that sword. Okay, all right, they got robot dogs, they got drones that are flown with artificial intelligence that they're working on. They probably done perfected them.
Are developing robotic and autonomous systems for military purposes, but one already has real operational experience. Israel uses a system called Legion X, described as an autonomous networked combat solution. An operation involving a swarm of drones can be overseen by a single soldier, directly from the Legion X tablet interface. A future where militaries around the world have access to devastating drone swarms is less a question of if, but when. Unlike other aspects of war, however, there are no legally binding rules to regulate lethal autonomous weapons. Can world powers agree to ban so-called slaughter bots designed to kill humans? Can the international community agree that all systems always be subject to human oversight and control? And can the world keep weapons like these out of the hands of terror groups and other non-state actors? Organizations like the International Committee of the Red Cross are lobbying governments to prevent these terrifying scenarios from ever taking place, so far to no avail. One thing is certain, the rapid advancement of drone swarm technology is transforming the urban battlefield, with major implications. Will humanity
come down with great wrath, because they know if that they don't have but a short time to rule. All right, it's in their spirit. They know this. Okay, and there's no coincidence that they're coming forth with digital IDs to basically know your every whereabouts. They want to have them digital IDs. They have it with your phone right now, but they also want to give you a passport as well, some sort of digital ID to basically say whether or not you have taken the venom or not, in their future antidotes. All right, okay, so with this we know that they're pushing for total control over you as a human being. Okay, it's called the Internet of Bodies, and they're coming out with the implant eventually to put it in your hand. Revelations 13 and verses 15 and 16. All right, we can read about it here, and in the Greek it's called the charagma, in which the charagma means a cutting in the flesh. It's a cutting, a stigma. The karax, it means a cutting in the flesh. So it's going to be instrument that's going to be put in your hand, a grain of rice, in which they're going to know your every whereabouts. They're going to also be able to upload this UBI, which Universal Basic Income, to that. And if you don't comply with their orders, you're going to be destitute, all right, if you don't take this. And that's called the hour of temptation. Revelation 13:15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causes all, so if you don't take it, you can possibly be put to death. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So you see here, you should be able to see this because they're going with a global digital currency, central bank digital currency. All right. And that will usher in the digital ID and the implant. All right. All right. So these are just warnings to Israel to repent, turn back to the Lord with all your heart and seek his ways. And you men, you need to be doing the work of the Lord to the end, because that's only who gonna be saved. All right. And the men of the Lord will be on the highways and hedges preaching this word. But he that shall endure, that Matthew 24:13, Salakia. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So this witness is going out across the four corners of the earth via the internet that the Lord allowed to be set up by the so-called white man in the world. So you need to take advantage of the time that we have left, because they definitely gonna cut this off, the internet. So with that, I say all praises to Yahweh, all praises to Yahweh Shai, peace and blessing to the hopeful elect, and shalom to the believers, and double honors to the elders at Great Millstone. Shalom.